Now, WSFA 12 Sports with Charlie Walter.
Peyton Manning has called maybe the smartest audible of his career. Sources saying he's decided to walk away as a champion. Now Peyton Manning can finally relax and enjoy some chicken parmesans. Yes, it did, Sally. You can see it behind me. Perfect suit weather out here today. One of the last times I can probably say that. Year 2 of the Neil Brown regime. The road to a bowl begins today. Spring practice number 1 now in the books for the Auburn Tigers, which means they can put that forgettable 2015 season behind them and focus on what's to come from the Plains. But after birdies on 6 and 8, he takes Chubbs Peterson's advice and gives it a little tappy for birdie on 10, another tap for birdie on 11, and then new hole, same result, birdie on 12 as well. Yeah, they do. Doors open at 5:30, so come on down. 6 o'clock is the selection show on ESPN, and look who joins me, head coach Shanda Rigby, head coach of the 2016 Sun Belt champions. You got your dancing shoes on as you're ready to go to March Madness for the first time since 1997 for this Troy team. Just talk about what it's meant to these players to win that Sun Belt.
Oh, it's been incredible. It seemed like everything went right for us once we got that Sun Belt tournament.
Last year, Richard Mullaney arrived in Tuscaloosa as a graduate transfer from Oregon State. Mullaney was coming off a season with only 18 receptions for 216 yards. Well, to the links we go. There's the man behind my favorite cocktail, Arnold Palmer himself. He's watching the action at his own invitational in Orlando. 14-hole, Troy Merritt, the birdie from the bunker. Look at that shot, and then Merritt in the caddy. Look at that awkward celebration there. The Aussie, Jason Day, making the birdie on 16 to get a share of the lead. How about those pants that Cam Newton was wearing? He's got on the same pair under the desk. You can't see it, but Mr. O'Connor rocks it a little better than Cam.
He had on the black leather jacket. And what were those pants?
I don't know, but I love it. I love it. Okay. Wrestling gets the opening act this morning. State champions were crowned yesterday in Huntsville, and how about this for an underdog story? They trailed by as much as 9 in the second half. The Eagles stared into the eyes of adversity, and adversity blinked first. Alabama down 7 with 6 minutes to go. Watch this play. Retno Bosson. Those ballroom dancing class starting to pay off. Tough bucket for the boss. He tied Shannon Hale for a team-high 22. Another day and another assistant coach the Auburn Tigers will have to replace. Deja vu for ASU. Last year, the Hornets knocked off Southern in the SWAC championship game, got a 15 seed, and got whooped by 42 points to Florida State. This year, they knocked off Southern in the SWAC championship game, got a 15 seed, but hoping that final result will differ from last year's matchup. Auburn up 3-1, bottom 6, A&M up 9-5, nobody on, Nico Buenteo. It is high, it is far, it is gone. Solo shot off the scoreboard, 6th of the year. Evening, plenty of collegiate hoops action around the capital city today, but first we head to Mobile, Alabama, where 5 Crimson Tide players and Jonathan Jones from Auburn suiting up for the final time in their collegiate helmets. This weekend is the finale for the regular season of college basketball before the mayhem begins in March. Also, the final day of the state championships at the high school level. But this is a football state, so we start by taking you to the Plains this evening. Auburn hits the gridiron. If I was a driver, I would have a Skittles car too, John. The sour ones. 86 laps to go. Brad Keselowski blows tire on turn 2. TJ Dunnins serving it up, and Jordan Granger sending it home. But it was an uphill battle all night. Auburn falls short 69-59. Auburn lost 14 games in a row last season. This year, they only lost 12 total. Well, Steven, it is great to be in Elba Tiger tonight. They are the state champions, and I'm here with the MVP of the game, quarterback Ramsey Rigby. 36-22 winners. You guys were here last year, came up a little bit short. A redemption game for you guys. How great does it feel?
It feels so great. It's definitely redemption at its best. It's high school football at its best.
On a day where the offense couldn't do much, Derrick Henry stole the show. A touchdown in the final moments to prevail the Tide. You know what happened back in January? Auburn defeated Alabama on the hardwood, and at that point, it looked like the Tide were going to finish in the cellar. They stood at 1-4 in the conference. Auburn, on the other hand, was looking like a pleasant surprise at 3-3. The 2016 Sun Belt champion Troy Trojans didn't have to wait too long to see who they'd be playing today. The first bracket announced they get a 15 seed. They head to Corvallis to take on Oregon State.
He spent some time with this young athlete earlier today.
Yeah, Stephen, athlete is an understatement. That trampoline park that just opened up in Montgomery, I think it's the Rock and Jump. This youngster would put on a clinic there. Check this guy out. Meet Will Wilson, 12 years old and just 4 feet 5 inches, but the little guy has big dreams.
I actually want to be a collegiate gymnast at the University of Michigan. Go Blue. And after that, I'd like to move on to the Olympic Training Center and become an Olympian.
Will trains at United Gym Stars in cheer and has just recently qualified for the Junior Olympic Nationals. And he's ready to represent Montgomery.
It's just really, really cool that I got to be accepted into nationals. It's really hard. And I was in the top 10 out of all the people that they were taking.
Athleticism runs in his DNA. His dad, Pookie, racked up numerous trophies while playing on the Auburn Montgomery Diamond and for the Florida Marlins. A few years back, Will decided not to follow Pop's footsteps, trading hitting baseballs to perfecting the vault.
You know, it's interesting to hear a father's point of view sometimes on the sport of gymnastics because it's easily overlooked in Montgomery. I hope that it wears off, that it is a very tough sport, and it's one of those that it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work.
Will's been putting in that hard work. He represents our city now, but with the moves this 12-year-old has, someday he may represent our country.
He has just God-given ability for it. I think it is very promising that he could make it in college and further on up to hopefully the Olympics someday.
Will's a student at Baldwin Magnet. He competes for the Nationals on May 6th. Steven, unbelievable poise in front of the camera for a 12-year-old. I have a feeling we will be hearing plenty more about this young man.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Pretty impressive.